So U.S. companies may have added 213,000 jobs in June, but how will these trade tensions and new trade policies from the Trump administration impact the U.S. job market? Well, according to an Oxford economics report, 100,000 American jobs could be destroyed next year if the president places tariffs on European autos. That's just on European autos. The Council on Foreign Relations estimates that a 25% tariff on imported steel would cause 18 to 40,000 auto job losses by the end of 2019. So what kind of job losses are we really looking at? And what area of the country or industry do you think is going to get hit the hardest? Let's bring in Bankrate's chief financial analyst, Greg McBride. That really is the question. I mean, these predictions are a little bit frightening. To think about 100,000 jobs destroyed because of a trade war. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I think the risks are certainly there, Cheryl. The reality of it is that we are not going to begin to feel the effects of this for probably 6, 9, 12 months. And so in the meantime, we've got a whole lot of uncertainty. And that's why you see, even with strong underlying economic fundamentals, the economy, the market's been in this yo-yo ever since January the 26th. So, as long as there's uncertainty out there, I think it's going to be difficult for investors, to really push the market substantively higher and beyond the record highs that we saw in late January. But the longer this goes on, the more those risks to the economy, to consumer spending power, and to inflation, the more that those present themselves.
I want to stay with that auto sector prediction just for a moment, because, one of the things we saw in the jobs report this morning was a surprising nice build out of manufacturing jobs. Do you think that is going to be lost if this trade war continues, not just with the Chinese, but with the Europeans as well?
Well, that's certainly a risk, because let's look at what tariffs do. On imported goods, it raises prices. Higher prices often lead to higher interest rates, both of which reduce consumer spending power. So, as the price tag goes up, fewer consumers are in a position where they're going to be able to buy those goods. From the standpoint of exports, when you've got other economies that are putting tariffs on our exported goods, that's going to affect our output. It's going to affect the amount of goods that we're exporting and the money that's coming in from that. And that can also have a deleterious effect on jobs, and particularly in the manufacturing and transport sectors.
Pricing pressure, inflation on the U.S. consumer. That could be, the Fed talked about it a little bit in the minutes we got during the week, because they talked about the fact that a trade war would obviously put long-term pressure on the economy. But what kind of price jumps do you think that we could actually see? And where do you think we could see that? Let's face it, Americans are so used to getting toasters for a great bargain and getting a cheap iPhone. Well, okay, iPhones used to be cheaper, but you see my point. Electronics, things that the Chinese are really manufacturing and sending here. A trade war changes that dynamic.
It does. Let's look at just two of the big ones. Let's look at auto manufacturing, and let's look at housing. The tariffs on things that are needed to build each of those on housing. Tariffs on lumber,
copper,
for example.
Yeah.
Copper. As those prices go up, it makes houses more costly to build. So therefore, the price at which they're sold has to go up. We're already looking at an affordability issue for so many first-time home buyers. There's clearly a headwind to the economy in that respect. And then, as you noted a moment ago, with regard to the auto sector, all those tariffs on the goods that are used to build cars drive up the prices of those cars. Higher inflation at a time when you're not really seeing much headway on wage growth makes it tougher for people to buy.
And I know that you specialize certainly in housing, but in a general sense, what do you think that the president should do? What do you think the next move should be? I know that Stephen Mnuchin has been to Beijing. Wilbur Ross has been to Beijing to try and come up with a solution in these negotiations, which so far seemingly have not proved fruitful. What would you like to see the administration do and how to handle this?
Well, far be it from me to make those suggestions to the administration. I think, there's two views here. The short-term view is, what risks do we have to the economy from escalating trade wars, tariffs, and disputes? The longer view is, hey, do we end up negotiating much better deals that in the long run are going to be better for U.S. workers? And I think those two, Cheryl, views are going to be in conflict with each other for some time until it's resolved.
That's the optimistic, point of view, certainly, is that this tough talk and this seemingly war that we're now jumping into with them is going to lead to less theft of intellectual property, which that's the main goal for many people, especially the administration. Greg McBride, thank you very much. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Cheryl.